What's going on, everybody? Good to see you. I've committed to Tuesdays as my day to go live. This one might be a bit shorter. I've gone like an hour plus on many of these, but today I plan to go a little bit shorter. My wife has picked up our dogs from the vet, and she's on her way home. I got my two boys over there. They're chilling, they're eating, they're relaxing. So I figured I'd go live real quick and answer three questions that I get constantly in my DMs from people. So as always, drop a comment below, say hello. I like knowing you can hear me. Let me know that you can actually hear me down below. Just say hey, say hi, we can hear you, high five, whatever, just so I know that you actually heard me. Good to see all of you jumping in here. So there's three questions that I'm getting DM'd frequently from folks. And by the way, these are Dominicans that live in the United States, and they have this desire, this wish, this thing where, hey, you know what, I'd love to move to DR. I'd love to move back to DR, or for the first time to DR, or my family's from there and I've spent my childhood there and I want to go back, and so on. But there's three questions that they constantly ask. So I want to answer those three questions, and then any questions you might have down below, I'm happy to answer for you. Before I reveal the three questions and answer them for you, though, I'm curious for some of you, can you let me know where in DR you would move to if you're planning to move here? Where is it? Like, just so I have a sense. Is it Punta Cana? Is it Santiago? Is it Santo Domingo? Is it somewhere else? Whatever, but drop it down below. All right, three questions I get. The first one, by far, easiest first one. And I understand where the question is coming from, but the question is it safe? Here's my answer to that. The answer is yes. And the reason I answer it that way is because that question comes from a very broad perspective. It comes from a standpoint of, is DR safe? Which would be like me saying, is the U.S. safe? That's way too big a question to answer. In other words, would I say that every part, every corner of the Dominican Republic is safe? No. I also wouldn't say that about the United States. Would I say that all of Chicago is safe? No. New York? No. Los Angeles? Anywhere? No. But obviously there are safe areas, and there are areas that are not so safe. So you have to, like anywhere else, explore and learn and understand what areas are safe, what areas are unsafe. Specific to Punta Cana, safety here, I would say, is more around, property crime, not physical crime. So theft, burglary, pickpocketing, that sort of thing. There's other parts of the country where it's more physical, obviously, depending on, poorer neighborhoods, worse neighborhoods, more urban neighborhoods, so on and so forth. But safety overall, I would say, is good. If there is one thing, and this is no bullshit, that I would say is unsafe here, if there's one thing, generally speaking, broadly about Dominican Republic, the least safe thing that you can do here is drive. And that's not because of, I always make jokes and do reels about crazy Dominican drivers. There are crazy Dominican drivers, but it's not the regular driver per se. I mean, dangerous, but at night, a lot of cars and bikes don't have lights. But more than anything, it's the way buses and large trucks drive here. They drive like they're Priuses. They drive as if it's like a Rottweiler puppy that wants to, a full-grown Rottweiler that wants to sit on your lap like a Chihuahua. They just don't understand their size, and they go crazy driving on the roads. So that is what I would say is unsafe. So that's the first one. The second is education, schools. And here's my take on schools. Our kids are in private school, and anyone watching this likely, somebody says I froze. Let me know if that's for everybody. Somebody says, I'm sorry. Most of the people watching this, I'm sure, are likely to use private school here, not to use public education. So, what's up, buddy?
Can you make us, the rice wasn't enough. I kind of
You want more?
meat.
I'll give you just a few minutes. I'll give you some. I'm going to make some meat. So I'll give you
Make like a burger?
a burger patty or something. Yeah. Give me like 10 minutes, okay?
What do you think?
I'm talking to 129 people. All right, good. I can see I'm good down here. Thank you. So Heritage School is a great school. It's the most expensive of the schools here. I see that question, Chica 13. But people watching this are going to send their kids likely to private school. And because they're sending their kids likely to private school, education's great. I mean, I'm not saying it's perfect. There's definitely opportunity. Culturally, it's a different feel here than in the United States. So, there's more of a lax overall just mindset or attitude in schools, at gyms, everywhere you go. But education's great. Now, I have kids that are 8 and under, 3rd grade and under. It's been great for us. A checkpoint for me is going to be around 13 if we decide to stay here that long. High school years, I don't know. But then again, I've talked to a lot of people recently that said, I would have said the same thing about 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade 3-4 years ago. Like Punta Cana in particular has developed so fast, and there are so many great schools that have great education and great teachers. And I mean, my kids spend a day a week at a beach that most people save the whole year to go to. No kidding, no bullshit. So education, the access to what you learn, what the kids are learning it's the same thing that they would be learning at a public school in the United States. But there's 2 things that are missing, and I think they're good. One is, and I'd be curious if anyone disagrees with this. One is there's no, and I want to keep this quiet because my kids are around. There's no active shooter drills here, none. So that maybe there's some at one school. I heard that one school might have done something along the lines of that. But the point is the threat of why they do those drills doesn't exist here, and I love that. And the second thing is there's no books, education, or things that our kids are learning about identity, gender, that I don't want them learning. Some people may take that the wrong way. Just sign off. Don't follow me, because I feel very strongly about people living however they want to live. But the moment they take the agenda and want to educate my kids on it, you've jumped the shark. The movement has gone too far. LGBT, all that stuff. So live how you want to live. Don't bring it into my kids' school. So those are 2 reasons why I feel like schools here are a cut above in that regard. But again, check in with me in 5 years at age 13. I'll let you know what I feel about high school and the possibility there. We may say, not there, we want to get back to the U.S., or we may go back before that. So that's the second one. So if you're just joining, the 3 questions: is it safe? What about education? And the third, medical. I've done a bunch of stuff on this, so apologies if it's redundant, but I'll try to add some uniqueness to it as well. If you are talking about base medical, like day-to-day treatment for a cold, even if you get sick, or we had a kid with that had to be hospitalized for dengue fever, whatever, the medical's fine. The private medical system is perfectly fine. You need private medical insurance. Humano, Universal, either of those are great options, and you should have them if you're going to live here. I didn't do that the first year. And we learned that the prioritization here is on money over people for the private healthcare system. Like, hey, go to the public hospital. We're not going to take you because we're not guaranteed to be paid. That's just the way it is. So having private insurance ensures that when you or your kid or whatever needs the care, they can go there. You can also purchase private insurance that has the ability for you to be airlifted to Miami in the event of an emergency. For me, and some people disagree with me on this, and I get it, emergency level care or something like cancer or heart disease, I'd feel better in the U.S. Granted, there's plenty of treatment here. I would just feel better in the U.S. Maybe it's my own bias. I don't know. But for anything below that, run of the mill, kid scratches his leg, stitches, all of that. We've had nothing but good luck with the private medical system here. So that is my 3. Safety, I feel as though it's like anywhere else, but we feel extremely safe here. We live in a gated community. Most people do. Most people watching this, if you moved here, would do that as well. Education, I've explained why I think education is at the elementary level is the same, if not better. Our kids are on their 3rd language now. They're starting to learn their 3rd language. There's 35 nationalities represented in their school. Parents are hyper involved. We have amazing get-togethers for the school and the community, family days, parent days, and then those 2 things that are lacking. Drills for active, kids are over there. This is what I was doing. Whatever. The drills for that. And 2 is the whole alphabet soup book thing in the library. That doesn't exist. No one's teaching my kids about something I don't want them to learn about. So that is that. That is that. All right, Chica, what school? There are 6 in this area that I would recommend that I know something about. Bávaro Bilingual, Punta Cana International School, Heritage, Ikigai. It's right over here. It's called Massimo Potenzial and Villa Montessori. I didn't love the Montessori here. Our kids did do that for a bit. We're not there anymore. But it's an effective school. I was raised in DR and moved to DR 2 years ago, and I'm 100% correct in all 3. Appreciate that. Insurance company for me, the best today here in DR is Sanasa. I haven't heard of them. That's good to know. Cost of insurance. So we pay with Umano, we pay, I think it's like $880 a quarter, $880 US a quarter, which is like $293 a month if I did that math right. If you pay for 6 months, you can maybe get a little bit less per month, if you will, but call it $300 a month for a family of 4. Which we still hold our U.S. coverage. We have a health share with a company called Zion Health, and that's $500 a month for a family of 4. Actually, it's a little more than that, $550 a month for a family of 4. That's not traditional insurance, though, so we have some sacrifice there. But insurance, that's what it is. Try made it. Insurance companies, the 2 I know of that are everywhere, are Universal and Umano Seguros. Let's see what else. What I think about apartment in La Capital. Piantini is beautiful. If you can live there, I think that gives you. It's urban. It's high end. It's probably expensive, but it's really nice there. I gave cost on insurance, cost of private insurance. I talked about that. Ideal work would be remote in USD. Any tips on finding remote jobs? Yes. Go to a website called flexjobs.com. And you might have to pay to be on that site, but you can find jobs that allow you to be remote. That's 1. 2 is talk to your current employer about the potential for you to take on a remote role. It might be a very different job. 3 is if you are starting a business or own a business, figure out a way to make it virtual in some way, shape, or form. That's what I did. What other questions are there? What about on other parts of DR like Puerto Plata? I can't speak to it. I can't speak to Puerto Plata. Cabarete, I have friends there. I've met people there. I've been there, and I can see that we've talked about, do we move there? But internet and Wi-Fi and electric isn't stable like it is here in Punta Cana. There's no outages. Like people are like, oh, what about the power? Punta Cana has 0 issues. So you got to give me 5 minutes, okay? Just watch TV for now. You got peanut butter all over you. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can get this done. So Punta Cana has no electrical issues. But is this working? 1 second, everybody. I'm going to get this to work for him, and then... Oh, I see what happened. There we go. Here you go, buddy. Oh, it didn't work. But Puerto Plata is a nice spot. It's a nice area. Cabarete is a nice area. It's just, for me, it's been like a less reliable option in terms of Wi-Fi, and I rely heavily on Wi-Fi. Las Arenas is another spot, beautiful, and by the way, airport access. Puerto Plata has one, but it's not the same airport as Punta Cana. We have English school in Punta Cana. One of them is Vista Cana. There's all of the schools here, by the way, are English. That's actually a frustration for us that we want our kids to be more immersed in Spanish, but most schools here are primarily English with some Spanish. High school diploma in DR does work in the U.S. That's true. Punta Cana, where you are, is very safe, and the life is like vacation. Yes. But like I said, every area has its spots. I wouldn't be caught in Friusa at night. I wouldn't be caught in Verón at night. Are you okay? These are areas that are still Punta Cana, all right? So it's the same thing. Like, it's hard to say Santo Domingo is safe or unsafe. There are parts that are, there are parts that are not. So it depends on how niche you want to get there. Planning on enrolling my daughter at Heritage for grade 11. We are from Canada. Nice. Good spot. All right. That's the majority of it. I'm going to leave it there. I wanted to make sure I got not frozen. I want to make sure I got those questions answered, and we'll go from there. So everybody have a great night. I'll post this to my feed so you can go back and watch it. I've been here 18, 19 months right now, Brian C. And we'll go from there. So have a good night, everybody.